Hi folks, and Céad Míle Fáilte. Today, the video that I definitely didn't want to make, which unfortunately I dropped the bike. And even worse, not even my bike. But let me explain. This is definitely not the way that I wanted to introduce the wifey's bike into the channel, but here we are, circumstances in all, right? So this is a 2025 F900 XR. Beautiful bike, fast, light and nimble. A road bike, of course, right? But after going through a bunch of bikes with the wifey, this is the one that she decided she wanted to have, and she's absolutely delighted with it. Now today, the plan was to do something nice for the wifey there, and take the bike back to the mothership, BMW that is, to have actually the navigation preparation activated on the bike. I fitted the original OEM navigation preparation, but I've done it myself after the fact of buying the bike and everything. So the whole thing with the Wonder Wheel wasn't working, and you have to have the whole thing activated on the ECU for the Wonder Wheel to work with the navigation preparation. Although a little bit reluctantly, BMW agreed to actually do that for me. So I was on my way to BMW, right, to get this done. And as you can see, a day like today, yes, a little bit cold, but not too bad. We're talking about 2 or 3 degrees, right? But sunny, it's beautiful and everything, right? So I said, might as well just, go out there and have it done. Now, 5 minutes into my ride, and I was actually being very careful because obviously I'm not used to this bike. I always ride my GS. There was a little bit of a corner, and after the corner, the bike just went sideways. I just lost it, right? I was going very slow, probably 5 to 10 kilometers an hour, very, very slow. But unfortunately, there was black ice on the road. Couldn't see it. It was just, it looked like it was only wet. If you see how this looks like, it's asphalt, it's a little bit wet, but it's a lot of traction. There's no problem whatsoever with this. It was exactly the same thing. It wasn't even in the corner, it was after the corner actually, right? But yeah, unfortunately, I just, the 2 wheels, not even the front wheel or the back wheel, 2 wheels just swept away, and I was lying on my back in the road, right? Luckily, yeah, all things considered, nothing happened to me. Of course, wearing full gear, head to toes. And yes, I banged my shoulder a little bit, but it's not even hurting. Didn't hurt at the time either. No scratches, no, no scuffs, no nothing on myself. The bike though, that's another story. And the reason why I wanted to, make this video, although my ego is quite badly bruised, right? And obviously I feel terrible because it's not even my bike, right? It's a disaster. But anyways, the reason why I wanted to do this video is to make a little bit of a public announcement for 2 things. First of all, and like I always say, gear. How important is the gear, right? If I didn't have my gear on, we'd probably be talking about how badly my back is scratched and how much skin I lost, etc., right? Because even though it was a very slow drop and everything, you're still sliding, right, on the pavement. And I'll show you on the bike, right, how those scuffs actually, affected the bike and everything. The second thing I want to talk about is bike protection, right? How important is having bike protection and how bad things could have ended if I didn't have bike protection on this. This is no sponsor, no anything like that. Everything that you see here, everything was paid with our own money, with my wife's money. So I'll show you exactly what the damage was with the bike and how the engine protection that we have on this one probably saved the bike. So let me show you. All right, so this is the, like I said, F900 XR 2025. And of course, the bike landed on this side, right? So the bike did this, basically the 2 wheels just slided away from me with the black ice. And as you can see here, the engine protection, Hepco and Becker in this case, right? Again, not a sponsor, but as you can see how the scratches, most of these will come off, if I clean it up a little bit, or I can put a little bit of a paint there, that's no problem at all. But see how close would have been the engine, and most likely this would be an old scuff, if not cracked or broken, right? So this one, as you can see, is a full cage. It attached to the engine and everything. But that would have been a bad day, even worse than it actually was. Then they do include this slider, which clearly done its job, right? Obviously, I will have to replace this one. Most of the rest of the bike has been unscathed. A little bit there, but that's not even original. I put that in. A little bit there, which again, I'll just paint it a little bit so it doesn't rust. But the rest, as you can see, perfectly untouched, no worries at all. The other things that were affected, this one, which I think is the worst of the all, especially because it's a big panel and it's going to cost me quite a bit to replace. I guess I could have this one repainted or something like that, but brand new bike, it's my mistake. You know, I'll just replace it, have the wifey with the brand new bike again, right? And then up above here, this one, I don't really care. It's just a piece of plastic, very cheap to replace. I think it's, 30, 40 euros, something like that. So I'm not too concerned about this. And again, it's done its job, though it is plastic. It definitely saved the lever. As you can see, the lever is completely untouched. So happy enough with this one, taking the brunt on the top. That one is a shame, though, the wifey says, I don't care, leave it at that. She was very understanding, and obviously she was happy enough that I wasn't injured or anything like that. But that was basically most of it. At the back, a little bit of a scuff on the top case. Again, we're not too concerned about this one. I guess I'll just peel the rest of the letters here. It's a shot 34, in case you're wondering. But the rest, luckily, the bike wasn't damaged at all. There was no other scuff or anything like that. Imagine if I didn't have this engine protection. Again, it's not a promotion for Hepco and Becker, but they do make really good stuff. But as you can see, look at that scratch. That would have been on the engine casing on the side 100%. There's no way that I could have saved the engine if it wasn't for that. Luckily, no damage at all at the front here. Blinker was perfectly safe. As you can see, it is a little bit more tucked in, and obviously the whole engine protection is designed to protect most of it, right? All things considered, I guess not too bad. Obviously, I'm still very upset about the whole thing, right? Heartbroken seeing, the whole thing happened so fast that when I was, I stood up back again and I saw the bike laying on the ground where I took the picture. I was like, oh no, right? If it was my bike, it would have been a disaster, but even being the wifey's bike, even worse, right? I feel like a fool, and I know people are going to come down to me in the comments saying, oh, you're an idiot, why did you go out and everything? Again, like I said, it's 2-3 degrees, nowhere near freezing temperatures, beautiful sunny day. What can you do? And the rest of the road was actually perfectly fine. It was just that piece of the road, which actually, after, when I went out to pick up the bike, I was all sliding all over the place. So this one is very light. I can pick it up, no problem whatsoever. But my concern was, me sliding around again with the bike and everything. Luckily, that didn't happen. And I was kind of skating around to put the bike on the side of the road, making sure that there was no issues whatsoever. I thought about filming something on the time, but I just couldn't. I don't have that mentality. I'm not fully on, vlog mode or whatever it is, right? And funny enough, this morning I thought actually about putting the camera on my helmet. At least it would have made out a funny video, I guess, at the end of the day. But anyways, I'm trying to take things as light as possible, right? Luckily, again, like I said, it's only, money, right? Eventually we can replace those parts and everything. I can do it myself. So it's not such a big of a deal. It's going to be expensive, but we'll get it done. But again, the whole point of the video is two things about protections, right? My own personal protection, like I said before, if I didn't have my full gear, the story probably would have been different. And also protecting your own investment, right? Protecting your bike. It doesn't matter what bike you have, either this is Suzuki Bandit, a GS, XR, whatever you ride, there's always engine protection or fairing protections, whatever it is. A couple of years back, I had a Yamaha R6 where I had frame sliders on it, right? It didn't look out of place. I know there are some bobbins that you can fit at the back or even at the front wheel. sports bike, cruiser, whatever it is, there's always some type of engine protection. And for a couple $100, I think it's well worth it. That is the whole point of the video. Wear your protection and protect your bike, right? Because you never know. Obviously, I didn't plan of, sliding on ice this morning, but it happens, right? And like I always say, especially as a small rider, most of the issues are going to happen at very slow speeds. In this case, it doesn't matter if you're a big guy, small guy, and ride a big bike or whatever, right? Ice is ice, and it doesn't matter. Even when I stopped on the side and was checking the bike and everything, I saw a massive van trying to make that corner, right? And it was sliding all over the place, almost didn't make it, right? So, it doesn't matter what you ride, even if it is 4x4 or whatever, right? I guess chains is the only thing that will combat somehow ice, right? As a small rider, if you are going to be on a parking situation or stuff like that, and you're on tippy toes or something like that, the chances that you might drop your bike are, a little bit higher. Or even if you're a big guy, right, you can sleep or something like that and your bike is on the ground, right? And even if it is at 0 kilometers an hour, stuff like that on plastic, it will happen, right? They scratch very easily, unfortunately, right? And some are easy to replace, some are not expensive at all, right? Some people won't care. This one, the wifey says that she doesn't care too much. I care because it's her brand new bike, pride and joy. She loves this bike, so I definitely want to take care of that, right? It is what it is. But anyways, that is the whole, I'm repeating and looping around, and I guess this is my own therapy, I suppose, right? But definitely wear your protection and definitely protect your bike with frame sliders, crash bars, whatever the case might be. Spend the money, protect your investment, and make sure that you at least minimize the cost as much as possible. If that would have hit the engine casing, they are not meant to be sliding on the road, right? So if that would have cracked or something like that, I would have lost all my oil. Now we're talking about calling rescue, replacing the engine casing. How far do I need to go in there, right? If any chunks of the magnesium went into the engine itself, do I need to do a full tear down and everything, right? It can get very expensive very, very quickly, right? So very important to protect your own investment. Have that in mind. Let me know if you're interested on this bike. If you want to learn more about it, I'll be delighted to do more videos about it. I was actually planning to do a couple of more videos, but of course, I know that most of my audience are interested on GSS, so there we go. But definitely let me know, leave it in the comment down below. If you want to see more stuff about this bike, I'll be more than happy to do, if the wife actually lets me borrow the bike again. But again, I can do a couple of videos on the shed or stuff like that. So there you have it, folks. Please be nice on the comments. I know, whatever you can tell me that I'm an idiot or whatever, I already told that to myself, so don't worry about that. I got that covered. Let me know if you have any questions, any comments, whatever. Be nice, and I'll see you folks on the next one. Thanks.